Hi, how you doing today?
I'm good. I'm so excited.
I'm excited too. I really do appreciate you for popping out. I appreciate you for being here
Yeah.
and bringing your energy into the space. I honestly had to get you on the camera. I had to do this because after Empower Her, I just felt super inspired. I had actually brought one of my friends too, and she was working through some things, and she left the event feeling electrified. And I just really appreciate you putting a space and environment like that for women to come together and be themselves.
Yeah, that's like my favorite thing to hear is like I brought my friend, she was going through some stuff and we're both feeling like some empowerment here. Empowerment I feel like is so overdone too. Sometimes like empowerment, like I just want people to feel lit the hell up and like ready to go. As soon as you leave there, I don't want that feeling to be like rah. So after you leave, like I want that to linger with you to help go. So I'm like really happy to hear that.
Yeah, and I feel like that what makes it super authentic, because sometimes I know I've gone to events in the past where I've shown up and the energy kind of does go away, and it didn't feel like that at all with Empower Her.
Yeah, I was tired of walking into rooms that were like community focused, women focused, like the girls, and we've all been in, we're women, like come on, let's be real, we've been to events where it's like says it's for the girls, and you leave there and you're like, I would have rather stayed home and ate pizza rolls. Like, this ain't it. This isn't it. So not only creating exactly what we tell you is going to be there, but like, I don't want it to end at the event. I want the relationships to go, because like, that's pointless. Like one day out of the whole year, you feel lit up, which is hopeful that you have it there. But like, I want it to happen after you leave too.
Yeah.
And I find that like a lot of events miss that. They focus so much on then and now, and then the event's over. And they feel like, oh my God, it's over, it's great. And that's awesome, but like you want those memories to last and also not just be memories, be actual relationships and connections with people. So
most definitely, because I've for sure left with a lot of connections, and after the event, like I remember engaging, because you know I'm a brand strategist, so I'm gonna get strategic with the thing. So I made sure that I went on the page and engaged, and it was just so many women that were ready to support me, and there were so many women that I wanted to support because their vibration was high, their energy was high, and they truly were moving with a genuine heart, and I feel like that's so important, and you brought that to life. So shout out to you.
I love that. Yeah, we try to, like I said, preach. This is a room full of women who know who they are, don't know who they are, trying to figure it out, have it all figured out. And we want all of you to connect and have a good energy there. Like I make it very clear when I get on stage, I'm like, if you're a mean girl, there's the door. Like this isn't for you. My goal is to make the mean girls feel uncomfortable and either switch it up and like get with it or get the hell out. Because there's nothing worse than walking into a room where you are being vulnerable, coming by yourself, coming with a group of friends and having somebody to lean on. But then there's something different about meeting somebody unexpectedly that could change your life. And that's just like my jam. That's my favorite thing. So.
I would love to hear that. So what made you be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this today and I'm going to share it with the world?
Yeah. So originally Empower, which we just rebranded to DreamWherld now, but like originally I did not think I was going to be doing this. I owned a clothing store in Port Huron for a few years.
Oh, nice.
Thank you. Yeah. And I was traveling a lot, so I ended up closing the store. And then once I closed it, I was like, well, great. Now I don't have a venue to host like fun events. So I had rented out this space just to have like a girls' day out, which ended up turning into, do you have speakers? Is there food? And I'm like, yep, sure is. And like, turn it into something. But then what I was finding is people loved my boutique. Sure, clothing was fun, but anyone can own a boutique. But it was the feeling women had. And I'm like, how do I not make only a business out of this? Because like, I'd love to do it for free, but like, let's be real, we got bills to pay. How can we make this a business and sustainable and scale it to where it can not only help women here, but all of Michigan, the United States, hopefully globally one day. That feeling, I couldn't find anywhere else. Because it's not me doing it and connecting with the women that like connect on the level that I know authentically they're being cool. So anyway, long story short, we had our first event. It sold out in 2 days. That was like in a little space. And then now this is our 4th year doing it that we just completed that you went to. And it's just, we try to make it bigger and bigger every year, not because we want, you know, publicity. We want to impact more women to show this is what can happen when you're yourself. You say no to things that you don't want to do. You're unapologetically yourself. You dress how you want to, whether that's like Adam Sandler or bougie as hell Mariah Carey. Like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
And being yourself is the magic sauce here. And I feel like so many people feel like they need to impress people. And I was like, how can I make an event that's the missing piece here?
Yeah.
So once I realized like this was lacking for so many women, by women who come and are like, this changed my life. And that sounds so dramatic to say, but like we've got women who are leaving toxic relationships, starting their business, cutting off toxic family members, like finding new friends who appreciate them, turning strangers into best friends and partners and business people. And that's the whole point of it. So when I found like, wow, this is really impacting so many people, I'm like, I'm all in. I closed my boutique. I do this now full time. And it has just been like incredible with not only the opportunities and amazing people like you that I get to meet, but like creating relationships that aren't surface level. Like, can't wait to get coffee. And then 2 years goes by. I'm like, no, when's coffee? Like next Tuesday at 4, work for you? And that's the difference of why I wanted to create this. And I feel like it's just like, it's not even a job. It's so much fun.
That's the best feeling. That is really the best feeling. And I'm just so excited to continue to connect with you, because when you truly understand the power that you have within, you can just attract all the abundance and all the prosperity in the world. And some people just grew up with different experiences that they don't truly understand that. They don't get it because of what they were around or what they seen growing up. But when we break down those generational traumas, or we break down those limited beliefs, we can really connect and grow and elevate to a whole nother level.
People think, like I've been told my whole life, I'm too loud, I'm too obnoxious, I dress too provocative, as you can tell we are covered today. But like, I've been hearing things so many times, but that's just me. There's people that have been told, you're too shy, you're too frumpy. There's like, I had great supportive parents, but like there's somebody that's mom that's telling them like, you look fat, you look, like there's so many women that are hearing so many different things. There's guys also hearing things, right? And like you said, what we're growing up around, we make that our reality and not realize like we can change that. And also use our story, and this sounds so, like cliche, like our stories are superpower, but it really is. Like telling your story and what happened to you without getting too uncomfortable of what you are oversharing. Understanding that there's more than likely somebody else out there struggling with the same thing or needing to hear what you say. There's so many times, even on like my social media, I say something that I'm like, is this too much? Maybe. And then I have like 40 messages that are like, I really needed to hear this today. And those are just from the few people that follow me. You know what I mean? So I think we underestimate the power of what we've been through and think like, no one cares. Some people aren't going to care. Some people aren't going to relate to that. Like there's some things I went through that you didn't go through, and there's some things you went through that I'm never going to go through or have been through. Right? But there's other people that have. So I think using your voice and your story is so important, and people miss out on that because their whole lives they've been suppressed to like, don't do that. Don't overshare. It's too loud. It's too much.
And what would you say to somebody that is going through those emotions on a day-to-day of not feeling confident and not showing up for themselves the way that they should? Like, what would you say that can kind of inspire them to step into who they are ready to, should be, and excited to be?
I think this is an example that I heard at a conference one time, and it really like literally changed my life of how, even if you truly don't think your story will help somebody because it's so specific and no one's ever done it, and you're like, I'm not confident about this. Someone told me, I would hope, and if they haven't, everyone has watched The Lion King in some capacity, understands the concept of what it's about. Little lions with his dad. His dad falls off a cliff. He thinks it's himself, even though it's his evil uncle. All the things, right? One of the girls that was on the panel, this guy that told this story, the one girl told a story about how her mom was her principal in elementary school, and her whole life that she felt like she needed to live up to the standard. Okay, and at the end, this guy who would give the Lion King analogy, which I will explain in a second, you're like, where is this going? He goes, how many of you in this audience had their mom or your dad as a principal? No one raised their hand. Right? He goes, but how many of you feel the expectation of making your parents proud and the stress, like how many of you have experienced that of you don't feel like you're living up to your expectations of your parents? Everybody raised their hand. He goes, so she might have not told that story thinking no one's had a mom or dad as their principal, so I'm not gonna share that story. But everybody has experienced that in some capacity, just like the Lion King.
Yeah.
We don't have enough evil uncle, I hope, that killed our dad and shoved him off of a ledge.
Right.
But like, and then you run away because you feel like you're not worthy of taking over this role that his dad would, right? But we've all experienced feeling like we're not ready for a role that we're stepped in because of the guilt that we think is our fault of why we got there, which is the whole premise of The Lion King. So again, none of us have had any of those experiences. We don't have a warthog as our best friend with a Timon or like a meerkat, right? But we've experienced very similar things. So I think it's understanding that concept that metaphors are you changing how your personal experiences have related to that. And that's all we do as human beings is try to relate to it. So yes, it might be uncomfortable. You might not be confident because you're afraid that nobody's going to relate to it, but you'd be very surprised on how many will. And I think that concept has helped me feel a little bit more comfortable sharing stories. I get that there's some traumas like domestic violence, things that people don't want to uncover because it's a little too much. And that's okay. No one's asking you to tell those stories, but when you take things a little step by step and you become a little more authentic and vulnerable about like, you know what, I'll say it, I don't like oat milk creamer, and everyone loves them, right? Like, so many people are gonna be like, I relate to that. And it's just that little speck of confidence that you grow a little bit more, so it's not, you don't need to unravel the curtains and talk about your scars that you don't want anyone knowing about. But it's the little things of voicing your opinion and not being afraid to be like, it might not make people happy, but somebody is gonna relate to that. And that, I think, that's all confidence is doing little acts of service or things that make you more sure about who you are. And when you're sharing and feeling more comfortable about that, that helps you step into talking about things that are a little bit more uncomfortable that will impact more people.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is really powerful.
Okay. I know. The Lion King was a long shot. I wanted to relate it because it truly was like, he's like, nobody has an uncle that shoved their dad off. I mean, I hope. I mean, I hope that hasn't happened to anybody, but like, we relate to that. We're like, we relate to feeling this pressure of stepping into a role we're not ready for, and we run away. And we might work a shitty job that we don't want to work, or stay with an awful significant other that doesn't do us right, like because that's what we think we deserve. And that's not the truth. And so I think it's comparing those things and talking about them a little bit more and more helps people become a little bit more comfortable with doing those things.
And I really feel like you, with the whole organization and what you built, are truly making it a thing to remind people of their power and remind people that they are creators of your reality. Because something that I've really started to do is take accountability. I take accountability for the words that I'm saying and the things that I'm doing and the things that I'm writing down or not writing down, because it matters that much. You know, I'm a strong believer of you write the vision and making it plain. And if you're feeling in a place of lack or not enough confidence, the best way to get out of that is writing it down or saying affirmations or being around people like yourself who can be that uplifting energy.
I think people are more and more understanding that, like, oh wow, we don't need to be the Mean Girls movie to actually be the prettiest person, right? We can be around people who are doing the things and finding them inspiring, but also understanding that that doesn't take away from me. Like, I have friends that are doing the exact same thing as me in different states. We are best friends. I literally was on a call with someone that's doing quite literally the same thing as me. Stayed on a phone call for an hour with me. She's like, if you don't change this in your business is gonna go under. She could have easily been like, hey, I'm gonna let her do it, and I'm gonna be the queen bee. But like, I think more people are waking up of like watching people be their authentic selves and actually walking the walk of saying, I'm a girl's girl. Because we've all met the girl's girl who's like putting the knives and backs behind you. But when you're meeting the people who are actually doing the things that they're saying, their community follows, and you just soar faster. And more people, I think, are becoming more comfortable of being around people like that want to see them succeed and creating the reality they so badly want, but understanding that it starts with you.
It does.
Creating that vision.
It really does.
Also, like, not taking less for that.
That's right. Yes, I definitely feel that. So what would you say has been one of the challenges that you've had to overcome with being an entrepreneur, being a business owner, and doing all that you do? Because I know it's a lot.
I think what I'm currently going with right now is boundaries. I have rock solid boundaries in my love life, in my friendships, in my family. I have zero boundaries with business. I let a lot of people walk all over me. I like to take a lot of opportunities. I like to include everyone in my success, and I want to bring everyone to the top. But I've had a really hard time understanding who really wants that also. So I've let a lot of people take advantage of the platforms that I've built about having vendors a part of my event that don't see the vision and want to talk badly about other vendors.
Right.
Because they have this scarcity mindset that like, I need to talk badly about everybody else so that everyone comes to my booth. I've let speakers come on stages that weren't really the vision that they tell about. So right now, currently, I'm working on a lot of boundaries because I think when we say I don't have boundaries, people think that means in all aspects. Oh, no. My husband knows what my boundaries are. My son knows what my boundaries are. My parents know what my boundaries are. My friends know. Business-wise is where it's like all of this here and I'm down. So I'm going through right now as an entrepreneur is I think that maybe someone has rock solid boundaries in their business. They're this bad bitch on social media and like no one's gonna tell me twice, I'll cut a deal, but then they're letting their boyfriend cheat on them every weekend and taking it back. That doesn't mean you have boundaries all across the board. So I think for me the biggest lesson is to ownership and take accountability of what boundaries you have and if any are lacking, because it needs to be a solid thing. If one's down, the whole thing's gonna start to plummet. Even if it's in the middle, like these boundaries are good, it's gonna all cave in. So I think that's something that I'm learning currently. And when I started to implement stronger boundaries in my business, more opportunities have opened because people don't take me for granted. And so, again, someone watching this might be like, my business is sad. No one's coming in here and shaking things up. That's great. How's your relationship? How are your friends treating you? What is your home life like? What is your diet like? Like what boundary is not like let's look at that constantly. And they might be good, but then in 6 months, one can kind of be depleting. So I think it's important to consistently look at that and take ownership about what's not working out for you to be successful in any aspect.
I definitely understand that. And I think that I'm really grateful that you touched on that because I've gone through moments myself where I've had to learn to put those boundaries up because that's how we grow. And sometimes not everybody is meant to be in your business or not everybody is meant to support the movement or be in the movement. And that's okay. Love and blessings your way. At the same time, in order for us to continuously grow consistently and with momentum, you know, we have to be willing to let go of some people sometimes, even if they may be your family member. But never let a moment or a person or an experience put a toll on your mental health to where you aren't able to pour into other people because your cup isn't overflowing.
Exactly. It's so important to understand that and take care of yourself and understand there is no business without you.
That's right.
We can say here, like I run a community and my community is not successful without the people that are part of it. But at the end of the day, DreamWherld or Empower would have never started if I didn't close my business and think I needed a girl's day out to go shopping. So you have to take care of you and understand what your boundaries are and understand how you can consistently staying sustainable and all these things in order to be successful in any aspect of, regardless if you're a business owner or not. You're just gonna have burnout, you're gonna hit depression. It's gonna be bad.
It's gonna be bad. Yes. So another question I feel like, and this just came to mind because I'm flowing, letting God speak through me, you know, but one of my questions is now, how can we continue to encourage women and people in general to invest into themselves? Because I know, of course, EmpowerHer, there was a ticket to it, and there was amazing discounts, by the way. Amazing discounts. But I'm just saying that to say that a lot of people aren't willing to buy that, but we'll go to the mall and buy a bag or buy some shoes. And this is like what you're asking for.
Or even like not even buying those kinds of things. It's the little things. Like I buy coffee every single day, right? So you add that up, my coffee's $5 times 30 days, okay? Like I'm not gonna do the math because I'll embarrass myself right now, but like you get the point of these little things that you're like, okay, that ticket's $100, that's too much, but I'm gonna buy $5 coffee, that seems relatable. 100 to 5, but when you're doing that 5 times 30, you're at $150, it's $50 more than what you were gonna be doing. So I'm confused. Yes, would love to have Dunkin' Donuts every day of the week versus one conference, but the point is that those coffees aren't getting you to that next level that you so desperately want. So if you are having tension headaches and you're consistently doing X, Y, and Z and not putting the time to go get acupuncture or the massage or the physical help from a doctor to get like the neurological help that you need, you're gonna keep loving that $5 coffee but consistently bitch about the life that you don't have. So I think it's important to voice it and tell people, like, I'm very open and honest with what I do. I'm like, therapy is one hell of a place. I love it there. Like, I think people are ashamed of saying, and they let their ego get the head of them. Like, no, I don't need that. We're stubborn. Women want to do it all. Whether you have kids or not, like, we're superwomen. We don't need any help. But it's like, you need to invest in these things to get you at the same things. And there's this quote I just listened to yesterday on a podcast. It was like, in order to have the life you've never had, you need to do things you've never done. Isn't that so?
That's fire.
You're like that.
That makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
But it's like, I'm not growing in my business. It's okay. Do you have any type of coaching? Are you are you outsourcing to anyone? I'm a huge advocate of, I want to do everything myself. I don't need anyone's help. I am a perfectionist. I don't want to. And my business was like this, slowly like this. And once I outsourced to a producer for my like all these different things, I have more time to focus on me, and all my things are running better. So even again, business ownership or not, like, you're a busy mom, right? And you've got all these things. Your kids are in 10 sports and you're like fucking drowning. What can we do? Okay, I'm gonna outsource laundry. I'm gonna have someone come in. If I get some things that are a little bit more expensive than others, but you have to understand what is worth your time. And for you, like, are you gonna get the outcome that you want? And it's scary because a lot of these conferences don't put a guarantee. Like, I'm gonna take this conference and after this week, you're gonna make a $15,000 month. There's no guarantee of that. But there is more of an option for you to get better versus not taking that. And I'm willing to make that risk.
Most definitely.
The more conferences and things and events and scary things that I do that cost money, that are a little bit of a commitment, I've always like change my mindset about something, and it gives me more knowledge that I didn't have in the first place, that Dunkin' Donuts coffee did not, unfortunately, give me. So it's like, I think we have to understand self-care is sometimes going to have a price tag on it. It's not going to be a free bubble bath at our house that's going to fix our life. But there's going to be some things that you need to invest in, and that's the reason why it's called invest. It's not a waste of money. It's, I'm going to put this money in there, I'm going to invest it. Doesn't mean there's a guarantee, but I'm going to get out of this what I'm going to put into it. So
that's
I think it's super important to have that.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And I'm grateful for you sharing that too. Something I do want to touch on as well is, now, because, you know, sometimes people do give the excuse of, I don't have the money. And you talked a little bit about that, but I know from my experience, I've been able to attract abundance and lots of money from the way that I speak and the things that I'm thinking on a day-to-day. And I feel like people aren't telling themselves enough that they're rich or that they're abundant and that they're prosperous. And that could be a reason for that. So what would you say? How can you connect that, you know?
So there's two things. I think a lot of people are afraid of money and they don't want to admit that. And I like used to be one of those people that I'm like, I'm not afraid of money. I love money. And I'm like, but like, you don't go after it enough and you're afraid to talk about it and how you want more of it. Like you're embarrassed to say, I want more money. Who doesn't want more money, right? There's that. I think people live in the scarcity mindset of thinking like they don't deserve it. So that keeps them in this mentality of telling what they're worthy of not and having. The second part is I'm a very cost-effective person. Like, I'm savvy with money. So I get the whole starting a business from scratch. Like, not everyone has the option to get a business loan or a grant or parents who hand them money. Like, I started my business from ground zero with $300 when I started my boutique. I started off. Thank you. I started with $300. My mother-in-law had helped me figure out a space. I made it happen. And there's a lot of people out there who are willing to do a lot of things. I hate saying the word for free, but in exchange of energy, because I think that that's important, because once you start taking advantage of people, of letting them do things for free and you're not helping them in return, that's not a collaboration. That is you taking full advantage of someone's niceness and willingness to do something. But you would be very surprised how many people are willing to do a lot of things at an exchange of energy, free, okay? But it's the way you present it. And I think that that is where I got a lot of my success, and that's where I preach on community, because I love working with people who obviously want to do things for free. It saves money for both of us, but like we both have platforms that are going to help build each other. So I think a lot of people who are like, well, I don't have the money to go to the conference. Or I don't have money for this coach. That might be true, and it depends on who you're talking to. If we're talking about like Tony Robbins, no, he might not be like, yeah, I'll do it for free. He's never gonna even answer your messages. But there's lots of people that will help you get to the places that you need to. I know because I did it.
Yeah.
And you just have to be open to asking.
Yes.
There's so many women that messaged me this year for Empower. They're like, Demiree, I'm so excited for your event. I think this is gonna be amazing. I'm just gonna be real with you. I do not have the means to buy a ticket this year. And this is really embarrassing for me to tell you this. Like women who act like they got it all going on.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I would never share who this is. And oh my God, this is with a donated ticket to her. I'm so glad she could come today.
It's not like that.
But I respect women putting themselves out there to say, I want to be in this room.
Yes.
And I can't afford it. What ways can I help you to put me in that room? Not, can you give me a ticket for free? Because I'll tell you right now, 9 times out of 10 won't do that. I say 1 because sometimes I'm just like, I have a heart. And I'm like, I will do that once in a while. But I appreciate and respect people more to say, hey, I'd love to come to your conference. If you're willing, I know nothing about making content, but I'd be willing to get some behind the scenes and make you 3 reels. Like they're really trying.
Wow.
And I respect that.
Yes, much
And I'm
respect.
like, you know what? I honestly, if you would have just told me you didn't have the money to come, I probably would have been like, just come. It'll be fine. But like the fact that you're going out of your way to say, I want to promote this, I'm gonna make up some stuff, like they're DIY and whatever they can do to get themselves in the room, and then they get in the room. And then they're at that and they realize like, okay, power of collaboration.
Yeah.
I'm thankful that they put together some reels for me and like I can use them on certain things, but like that's not the point.
Yeah.
You tried. And more than likely people, businesses, places will be doing that in exchange for something. That's a collaboration.
Yes, it is.
So if you don't have the money, it can be scary because so many people are like, oh my God, yeah, no, you just need a coach, you need a VA, you need all this stuff. And I'm like, I've got $4 in my bank account. I don't know what you want me to do right now. But there's lots of people who are willing to help you get there with you giving them an exchange of energy without asking, can I come to this event? I'd love to come to your event for free. It's like, what? Yeah. Not selfishly, but like, are you doing anything to try to like compensate for this? Like, and people will respect that. And I know because I did it with my business with securing a storefront on the main street in downtown and running a business to, my boutique won Best Boutique in 2021. Like we got there with $300. And my rent was like $1,600.
When
like the math isn't
there's a way. Right. When you really want it, it can happen. Yeah. And like we were talking about, it starts with us. Yeah. When we truly believe that we can have that desire that we're dreaming for, we can achieve it. We can have it. And you got to have that level of teachability and coachability to where you can listen to somebody like yourself or somebody like myself that is doing it and has the success and has the results. But you're willing to listen and you're willing to do whatever it takes.
And you're willing to ask.
Yes.
I literally tell my girls all the time in my community, they're like, I want to do this and this. I'm like, closed mouths don't get fed. I'm like, so you never know unless you ask. And what's the worst thing that's going to happen? They tell you no. Guess what? You're right in the same position you were not asking. Yeah. What do you got to lose? Your ego of being like, oh, now I'm embarrassed because I know that I can't afford a ticket. Who cares? Like, who cares? Because 90% of me asking for things, I've got turned down so many times. Yeah. Like, it's okay. Yeah. For certain partnerships or asking for sponsors, things like that. But I'm going to ask because if I don't ask, how are they ever going to know? You know? Like, that's how some of my speakers have gotten my stage. Like, I'm hiring somebody as an assistant based off of us getting coffee and her be like, I would love to help you. And I'm like, didn't even know you did that. But guess what? You got the job. She would have been just chilling. You know what I mean? So it's obviously like, understanding if you don't have the money to do the things, what can you do in exchange for those things? Right. Like that's what influencers do. Hey, I'm gonna come to your restaurant, I'm gonna get content of your food, I'm gonna promote it, it's gonna go here, 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 in exchange for a $50 gift card to go towards. They'll do that all day. Yeah. Making them content, why not? Yeah. So it's little things like that to understand that people are willing to do it, but then also it starts with believing yourself, which can be scary because rejection and denial is a little bit also defeating. Yeah. But just know that there's huge people out in the world that are doing this and also getting denied. You're never going to be in the room or have the life that you want by just sitting there and hoping someone's just one day going to knock on your door and be like, here's all the opportunities you want. It's not going to happen.
No, it can't happen. Yeah. It can't happen. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. That is great. Yeah. That is great. Thank you so much. I'm gonna come to my notes for this next question.
I completely get it.
To my notes.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I do my podcast, I'm like, I just don't even know where I want to go with this next one.
Right, like, whoa, like everything that needed to be said was absolutely said. Like you hit it on the, man. Okay, so my next question, let's see. See, like we kind of answered all of these questions.
You're like, that's a wrap. No.
Okay, so how do you personally stay grounded and rooted to who you are with all that is happening around you?
I think I know. I've been on the other side of acting and being somebody that I'm not, and I know what that life looks like, and it's fucking miserable. And I don't want to go back there. So I think it's like, it's kind of like when people hit rock bottom, or you tell the girl to like leave the toxic boyfriend, and it's your 30th time telling them. You're like, you know what? You figured out one day you're gonna wake up and this is gonna be your life, and you're gonna be like, I'm done. And that happens for all of us. And so for me, I know what it's like to people please and say I don't like things that I do, and say I like things that I do that I don't, and go to events that I don't want to go to, and do things that I don't want to, and be this facade, right? And it not only doesn't feel good internally, but like then I'm building this life that's not genuinely what I want. And then I'm like, why do I hate my life? Oh, because none of it, I enjoy it. Like I don't enjoy any of it. So I've been on that other side. So for me, being grounded, I think, is comparing what I do now to the old life. Like that's what helps keep me grounded, is understanding I know what the other life looks like, and I never want to do that again. Regardless of what that looks like for somebody. Maybe they're in a great relationship, but like you want more out of your life, but then comparing it to the past of what you don't want has helped me stay grounded, and understanding all the people that I get to impact and help and watch their stories blossom, or get the reviews from people that are like, I listen to your podcast, and I left my ex-husband, and I'm now running my own company, and I just sold it. I had a girl that her boyfriend told her she'd never be anything, and she got a deal on Shark Tank based off of a business that her boyfriend told her would never go anywhere.
Wow, that's
And so
terrible.
she's like, these kinds of things help me. And so I think for me, looking at my past and also understanding my voice, and not in a way that's like my voice because I'm just so amazing, but like understanding the impact of using my voice in a positive way, in an authentic way, has helped people. It helps me stay grounded of being like, I don't want that old life. And when I'm doing good things, look at all the cool shit that's happening. I'm gonna keep doing that. So I think it's, for me, that's what helps me stay grounded and keep the life that I want and have going. So.
Yeah, and something that really I've seen help me in my journey, and the people that I've helped, is imagining. Imagining truly can create your reality, and it's like a balance of, okay, I don't want that, but I know what I do want. So if I put myself in that visualization of I'm there, I'm here, and really believing that you're the person that you desire to be, it can manifest in a rapid way. Because
100%.
You're that. You're that, and then all of the things that you want and desire are just attracting to you now, because you're operating on a higher vibration.
100%.
Your frequency is elevated.
I had a man once tell me, manifestation isn't real, which I get, like a lot of people think it's a little like woo-woo, like, oh, what am I gonna just put a little, time capsule in my backyard and hope that $1 million comes on my porch? I'm like, that's not really what it is. I think what it does is it gets you in the mindset and understanding of what is around you. And the best example I love for this is, have you ever bought a car and then the minute you pull out of the parking lot, you realize how many people have that car?
Yes.
But you never noticed that car before you had it, right? My husband bought a baby blue Bronco, like the teal blue Bronco. I'm like, this is so cool. Hundreds of them. The minute we pulled out of the lot. I'm like, I didn't realize how many people had this car. It's the same thing with manifestation. If I am putting out into the universe all the things that I want of life and envisioning the life that I want, it doesn't mean like I'm gonna get it, but I'm more likely susceptible, able to get it, to get it, versus not, because I'm in a different mindset. Like victim mentality people have a negative life, and you talk to them like, how's your day? Oh, and you notice like when you have a bad mood, your whole day is a bad mood. But if you're like, it's good. Like, I'm gonna trick my brain into thinking it. All of a sudden, great shit happens to you. So people who tell you manifestation isn't real, I get it. It's not an actual tangible thing that's gonna guarantee you're gonna get the things that you put on your vision board at the beginning of January. but you're more than likely going to get what you put out there because you're noticing opportunities more. You're like, your sight and all of your senses are more aware of what's around you, and you're more likely going to get it versus not. So I think imagination and picturing things and visualization and manifestation is huge.
Yeah.
But it's, if you word it to the way of like the car,
right,
like you notice it now because it's on the top of your mind, right? Versus not. You didn't do that before because it wasn't there at all.
Right. And success is really just the progressive realization of something.
Yeah.
And like you said with the car thing, now you're in the mindset of, oh, what's next?
Yeah.
I'm excited for the next thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
So yeah.
My agent, Kat, she is a huge advocate for, she calls it, I love being Delulu. Like I know it's a huge trend right now, like may your Delulu come true Lulu. And she is a pure example of putting things out into the universe and being like, it's gonna work out for me. She bought a cruise for Virgin Voyages and went on this cruise, paid it herself, made content, did all the things, put on her vision board. I'm gonna work with Virgin Voyages. They're gonna hire me to become. She's now on her 4th cruise of working with Virgin Voyages because she was so delusional and manifested that she was gonna get this. Again, not to that extreme of like, I'm gonna become the president, but like you're more than likely gonna become the president versus saying you're not gonna be the president.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think it's being delusional enough and believing that that reality can become yours, because if you don't believe it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's like saying, I'm a coach, I might make you feel better about yourself.
Yes,
and I might change your life versus somebody over here who's like, I'm a coach, I'm gonna change their life, it's gonna be crazy, I'm gonna get the results that you want.
Yeah.
Who are you gonna book?
Yeah.
The one that you think is gonna make, and that's the reality of
Yes,
it.
it is.
So if you don't believe in it and the reality that you think that you deserve or want, it's not gonna happen.
Yes. And then from there we can get into like the practical things, right? Because, you know, faith without works is dead.
Oh,
and that's
100%.
something that I've said for a very long time, because as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, you are making the active choice in, I want to impact, I want to inspire, I want to use my service and give it to the world.
Yeah.
But I feel like some business owners and some entrepreneurs don't get that with the spiritual and with the believing, with the visualization and the manifestation, there does come work.
Yeah.
And there are practical steps that you have to take to get to that next level.
Yeah.
So what would you tell somebody that is looking to start a business? What would be the next practical step for them to take?
My favorite thing that I've done in multiple of my businesses and girls in my community that I help them build their businesses is reverse. I don't even think it's called, not reverse psychology, but like reverse thinking is envisioning what you want, because it is very important to write down all the things that you want, but then sitting there and crossing your fingers and like thinking like 13 going on 30, it's gonna happen for me. It's not. It does take work, and it takes actionable steps to get there. And that's a part where people are like, manifestation doesn't work. And I'm like, you made a vision board and then you sat on your couch for 2 weeks and binge watched Netflix. You think that your new CEO is just gonna knock on your front door? That's not gonna happen.
No.
What are you doing? So what I help them is I say, envision the life that you want. You wanna buy a brand new house.
Okay.
Maybe not business related. I wanna buy a brand new house with 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a full basement, a full yard, pool,
I like
whatever.
that.
Okay, we're getting real specific. Now, what's the step before that? Okay, I need to have, let's say the house in Metro Detroit area is like $1 million, right? I need to make $1 million. Okay, well, my bank account's got $4. So how do I get to $1 million from $4 to $1 million? Okay, well, I need to start this. Like turn it, like instead of a triangle, the house is down here, flip it upside down and understand, because it makes it more fun of like, okay, well, before that, what did I do? Before that, what did I do? And I think that that's important, because people think and get so caught up on not knowing if those steps are the right steps to take, and that's okay. Like, just go for it. And if you have a reverse way of looking at what is to do, the steps to start seem a little bit less bigger than doing it the opposite way. Does that make sense? Like, okay, so if I want to start buying a house, I need to make more money. Okay, that's scary. I'm not going to do that. And now I'm just going to keep saying I want a bigger house for the rest of my life. But if I'm like, okay, I need $1 million, I need to do this, how do I do this? I need this many people at the conference, I need this many members, I need to sell this many merchandise, maybe I need to do a couple more partnerships, I need to reach out to brands. Okay, what's a brand that I could actually really work with that's gonna give me not $1 million, maybe 1,000, maybe 100. Okay, well, what do I do? What's gonna make me $100? And if I do that reverse, $100 and getting somebody to sponsor a podcast for $100 seems a little bit more doable than making $1 million. And so I think people think of the bigger picture at the end run and look at that bottom level because it's so close to the thing that they want so badly, and it's unrealistic.
Yeah.
They're not looking at, okay, well, what's the first step that you got to do?
Right.
And so I think that that's really important. And what I tell my girls is envision what you want.
Yeah.
And you're envisioning it because it's such a big goal for you.
Yes.
And it's not going to happen with 2 steps. If it did, everyone would have it.
Right.
And you would have it right now too.
Uh-huh.
So think about the steps, but get very niche down and specific. And the more specific, the less scary they are. And then it's like breaking down to-do lists.
Yeah.
I need to clean my house. Okay, that's a very general thing.
Now,
I'm
what?
gonna pick up that dish. It's one dish.
Yeah.
It's one thing.
Yeah.
It's a little bit. It's one dish cleaner.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that mindset of flipping the script of what your goal is and understanding it's a scary goal. It might be unrealistic, but what's a smaller step that you can do to get one step closer to that makes it a little bit more realistic to actually obtain that goal.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to like being specific, is there anything that you use to track goals and to just look back at?
I'm very old school. I write everything down on paper.
Okay.
I like my notes app on my phone. Like I know there's all these like CRM, customer, things like that. I just use like notepads and stuff of like what I want to do today. I track it. And I truly, if you go on my personal Instagram says my virtual little diary because I love taking photos of things and then being able to look at it. Like moments that are big to me now, like obviously Empower now DreamWherld is like this cool thing, but like I look back on my first year and I'm like, first of all, I would have never worn that ever again. And those moments I think help me understand of how far I've already came.
Yeah.
Like right now I'm like, it doesn't get better than this. What's gonna happen in 5 years? What's gonna happen in 5 months?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen in 5 days?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Right.
So it's like capturing those moments, regardless if you're a social media person, but taking photos, keeping that as like a virtual representation of how far you've came.
Yeah.
Because I look at pictures of me 10 years ago. I've already had a previous marriage, went through divorce. I look at that girl and I'm like, I'm living the life now that girl dreamed of having. Yet right now I'm like, I want more.
Goosebumps.
I'm like, I want more. But I'm like, if that girl saw me, she'd be like, this is the best life ever.
Yeah.
You can't get better than this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think for me, it's like, I'm like, well, what's next?
Yes.
And my life seems so minimal and all these things, but it's like you look back and compare. That helps me get specific on the steps of,
That's right.
Okay, that was doable. I did this. I'm going to do this. Okay, what next for me? And take those little actionable steps.
That's right. And it's also like that level of gratitude.
Yeah.
And showing gratitude for what you already have, being grateful for the things that you have in this moment, because that spirit and that energy is, again, naturally attracting things into your life.
Yeah.
So I really resonate with what you said and the balance of things. So I do want to ask, what does a day in the life as CEO look like?
This is so fun because I am definitely not somebody, I'd love to be able to say I'm on here and I'd be like, I wake up at 5 o'clock and I work out, I do all this. Every day looks different. And for me, becoming this version of myself, I got so stuck on looking at people that had strict things and I'm like, that's not me. I can't wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And if I do, I don't want to work out then. Like, I think for me, a day in the life of the CEO is different every single day, but for the most part, it's reflecting the night before of what I want the next day to look like.
Okay.
Because every day is different for me.
Yeah.
And not comparing myself to other people. I know this is kind of going off of like what my schedule looks
please,
like.
go ahead.
But I want to tell people, like, I'm sure they would have loved to sit here and be like, okay, at 6 o'clock, I need to wake up like Demiree does. And I do this. I don't do that.
Okay.
And I put so much pressure on myself, and I tell my girls this, like, you gotta stop watching the TikToks of the girls who got their life together. That worked for them.
Yeah.
You're not them. What works for you? Do you like working out? Do you like eating kale smoothies in the morning? Because I don't. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So for me, every day looks different. For the most part, I wake up, I kind of just flow with the morning. I go get my coffee. I get my son to school. Now we're off school, thank God. So like, I wake up, I do a little bit more like behind the scenes stuff. If my house is a mess, I do that. And the night before, I reflect what is important to me to get done. So when I'm going into the next day, I'm not unfocused about what I want because I have a million things to do.
Yeah.
And it would just be me constantly touching on each thing a minute at a time, but actually not getting any of them done. So my day looks different every day, but the one thing that I do is the day before, I'm like, tomorrow I'm working on X, Y, and Z,
Yes.
non-negotiable.
Yes.
And if those things aren't done, I got to act like there's a boss behind me that's going to fire me, even though the boss is me. But like the life I want isn't going to happen if I don't do those things.
Needed to hear this.
So it's not that I have an actual like day in the life.
Yeah.
It's every day is different, and flowing with that, not feeling guilty about that. That some days might look like I'm going to binge on the couch looking like Adam Sandler and chill. And some days are going to be bad bitch moments where I'm getting deals done and doing that, and not and understanding that not every day is going to look the same.
Yeah.
But then honing in on what is important to me at that time. I could plan out what I'm going to do in 3 weeks on Thursday at 4 o'clock right now, but that might change.
Yeah.
So I think it's just understanding and giving yourself grace with flexibility, but also understanding what needs to be done right now.
Right now. Yes.
And let's do that either today, and if it's not done, let's do it
schedule it.
tomorrow and go from there.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm actually working on as a business owner, is making sure that I do schedule the day before, because I have noticed times where I don't schedule the day and it's just chaos.
Yeah.
It's just too much happening, and I'm not getting enough done
It's too
because
much
I'm thinking
freedom.
about the next thing that I have to do. I'm thinking about, oh, I got to do this, I got to do that, but it's not written down.
I'm gonna write down 10 things that I need to do, and I'm gonna wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna do them all. Unrealistic. Appreciate the hustle and the thought process behind it. But if I do 2 of those things today, it sounds like, well, I didn't get those 10, so I was a failure. Well, guess what? I'm gonna write those 10 things down, and then I'm gonna take 5 days to do none of them. So like, would I rather do 2 and then now I got 8 for Wednesday? And then now I'm gonna do 2 more, and then now I got 6 left, and then realistically it's actually getting done versus it's been 2 weeks, and guess what? The same 10 things are on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Because I'll write it down in my like little notes, the to-do thing in my computer, and 5 days will go by, and I'll open that to-do list, not one thing is done.
Sheesh.
And I'm like, why isn't it done? Because it's unrealistic. But if I'm like, today I'm doing these 2, and they need to be done. And if they're not done, whatever I said I'm going to do the next day, this one moves because that one's coming in to do this, and it's not moving. We're not doing the next one until this one's done, because then I'm not building confidence in myself of completing the things that I said I'm going to do.
Wow.
And it's just going to keep getting brushed under the rug, and then we're going to be like, wow, I haven't recorded those 3 episodes. I haven't edited those podcasts. It's like, nope. If I worked at a corporate 9-to-5 place and someone said, Demiree, you need to do this and this, and I went to work the next day and didn't do either of those, and I was like, well, we didn't do those, but we're going to do 2 new tasks, my boss would be like, get your ass back in that room and finish those 2 things. And I think we give ourselves a little bit too much freedom because we don't have a boss. We're the boss. And we got to take that accountability of like, if these things aren't done, you need to act like if these things aren't done, my business is going to crumble. Even if it's not, act like it is.
Okay.
Because then it'll actually get done.
Got you.
You know what I
So
mean?
no overwhelming amount of tasks.
Yes. Like
Don't
if
do
you write
that.
a 20 list thing, that's cool, and I hope you can get that done.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, you get the 2 things done and you've got 6 more hours to do things. Do a couple more.
Yeah.
But just feel good about doing realistic amounts.
Okay.
Like 2 things. And then if you get them done, sure, add it if you
Yeah.
got more time.
I needed to hear that.
Yeah,
I needed to
because
hear that. I do be thinking I can come to the day and just like finish a week's worth of work in 1 day.
I'm like, I'm gonna make content for the whole month of July.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's unrealistic. I mean, maybe there's gonna be days where I do bang that out, and I'm like thinking about that one time I did that 6 months ago. But that's not realistic. I need to make content for the week, or maybe tomorrow, or the next 3 days. And then while that content is done, on the other days I can be doing the other things.
Yeah.
That's realistic.
Yes, it is.
And instead, we just like focus on like, oh, if I didn't do the full task, I'm a failure, and I'm just gonna do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it tomorrow. I'm gonna start tomorrow. And that's
Yeah.
like the motto for everybody is procrastination. And then you're like, oh my God, it's been 6 months. Why isn't my business or my life different?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you open up your to-do list that you wrote back in January, none of it's done still.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think it's limiting it down and focusing on the 2 important ones.
Yeah.
And then get them done.
I like that.
And then move on to the next.
This video is my note taking right now.
Right.
Because I'm taking notes.
Yeah, I mean, you're a
definitely getting
business
lot of
owner.
value.
You got a lot going on with a
Yeah.
lot of clients and a lot of things happening. There's a lot of things that happen in a business that people don't think that they see behind the scenes. And so we know what that looks like. And it's like, have you ever seen that meme where it's like, this is what my brain looks like, and it's 4 million tabs open? I get it.
Yeah.
But they're gonna stay those tabs unless you click out of 2 a day.
Yeah.
Versus look at your screen and go, I can't do this.
Yes.
Because you're gonna come back and it's gonna be the same amount of tabs.
Yeah.
So it's just, I needed to hear that too, because sometimes I do the same thing. I'm like, well, I didn't do the 6 things. I'll just do it tomorrow. And I'm like, I'm not doing all 6 of these things today. That's not realistic.
No. So power 2, 3.
Yeah.
Is the special number.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, as far as your environment, because I know I've been in a point in my life where I kind of felt like a shark in a tank. Like I couldn't grow in the environment that I was in, as a young woman. And it was hard, but I did have to make the choice to separate myself. So what would you say to somebody that is kind of going through that, where they feel like the environment that they're in isn't being proactive to have the success that they want?
If they have that thought, it's more than likely true. And if you have that thought, the only way to change it is to get out of the environment.
Yeah.
Like if you wake up and you're like, I don't like the environment, and I think it's inhibiting me, it's inhibiting you. Even if it's not, it is, because you think it is.
Yes.
And so for me, that's my life story. I was in an awful marriage with my high school sweetheart that I have my son with, and I stayed in that relationship for far too long because I wanted to stick it out for my son. I had someone who told me I'd never be anything without them. My business that I had was because of him, all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm done here.
Yeah.
Changed my environment, moved out, filed for divorce, got a divorce, met my now husband.
Congrats.
I ended up moving out of a little, moved out of a little town called Port Huron to Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
Changed my environment. When I had my business, first thing I did, filed for divorce, got out of the toxic relationship. That was one level.
Yes.
Then the people that I surrounded myself with in business, and nothing offense to that town,
Yeah.
it was in my environment.
Yeah.
It was a lot of older people who didn't see my vision, and I was tired of feeling like I'm the only person here that gets what I want to do.
Yeah.
And when I met people from down here, they're like, oh yeah, that's dope. I have girlfriends that do that all the time. And I'm like, it's like I've met this whole new planet that.
Yeah.
And then when I came here, I met amazing people. Like I would have never met you if I didn't have my event here and move it here. You would have been like, Empower and Port Huron, yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, if you have that thought process of my environment, I think is impacting, it's like, take out think it is.
It is.
Because if you think something is, it is. You're letting it affect you.
Yes.
And it's not gonna change unless you try to change it. Worst case scenario, switch up your environment. It doesn't even be anything as relationship-wise. I'm not getting any work done at home. That's a huge thing I hear from my girls all the time. I'm like, go to a coffee shop for an hour.
Yeah.
They're like, I got 10 times more done. I'm like, you're changing your environment.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's people, sometimes it's literally your environment. And I think people are like, I'm not getting work done because I'm at home. I'm like, even if your home isn't telling you to not work, it's your mindset of telling yourself that it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And so you've already woke up in the morning understanding that you're not gonna get anything done because your house inhibits you. So if you don't change that and go do something else, it's never gonna work.
Yeah.
Same thing with your friends, same thing with your relationship, with your job, whatever it is. If you notice you feel the suppression of something, it's because you're allowing it to, and it's not gonna change unless you change whatever that looks like of the life that you want. And sometimes what I tell girls, I'm like, I just got a call a girl named Lindsay. I was like, Lindsay, what does your dream life look like? She's like, I'd be doing this. I'm like, so why is that not happening? She's like, because I don't have this amount of money and I don't have a storefront. I'm like, okay, but do you think you're gonna get there doing this with the same friend group that tells you your business is silly? And she's like, well, no. I'm like, that's why you joined this community. It's because you needed women to tell you that you could do it.
Yes.
And this is the first step of you changing your environment, but it's also not hanging around those people who make you feel like shit for something that you truly want to do.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's so true.
Yeah.
And so it's envisioning the person that you want to become and understanding what would she stand for, what would he stand for, what would he accept, and what would their environment look like. I know what I want my environment to look like. I want to be on my private jet working from my laptop with free Wi-Fi that I pay for, flying to Rome with my child.
Yes.
I want my life to look like that.
Yeah.
And it's not going to look like that if I'm consistently around the people that in places that stop me from getting to that level.
Yeah, you have to be willing to cut those ties, and you also have to be willing to really let go of who you once were, and maybe that person that you once were let people step over you or let people knock those boundaries down. But we have to be willing to change. Yeah,
we like feeling comfortable. It's safe. It feels redundant. It feels normal.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, you can never have the life you've never had if you don't do things you've never done.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not saying like, I have a great partner and someone told me I have to do something I've never done. I think it's him. I got to cut him. I'm like, whoa, it's not him or her. Like, you got to keep them around. But it is your toxic boss that treats you like shit and makes you work overtime and doesn't pay you for that.
Yeah.
That's the spot.
Yes.
So it's doing things that we're not used to because normalcy is comfortable and growth is really uncomfortable. And that's, I think, another overused slang that people just kind of let slide on the rug, but it's the truth. Like, let's dissect that. Growth is uncomfortable. Doing things that you've never done is uncomfortable. Driving through a neighborhood that you don't know much about is scary. We immediately need to go to Google Maps. It's not comfortable. And sometimes we got to do a couple things that we, like, you jump in the water, it's cold for a couple minutes, then you're like, this is actually really refreshing. It's things like that that I think that's what sets people who are successful apart from people who are unsuccessful. And people are like, well, why isn't my life like this? I'm like, because you're living Groundhog Day every day and wondering. That's the literal definition of insanity. If you look up the definition of insanity, it is doing the same things over and over again and expecting a different outcome. What do you mean? Well, I'm baking this bread, I'm using the same ingredients every time, but it's not turning out this way. I wonder fucking why.
I wonder why.
You know what I mean? So I love hearing people. I'm like, well, what are you doing differently? Like, what did you, well, and I respect the people that are like, well, I'm doing this. I'm like, okay, you're trying. You're changing it's okay, well, it's not those things. Let's try more. The people are like, I don't know. I'm doing this. I'm doing every day. I'm like, how often are you doing that? Every day? I'm like, and you're wondering why you don't have different results? Okay. Like, we need to unpack that. So yeah, I think it's getting uncomfortable, being uncomfortable. And changing your surroundings and the things that you want to do to make the life that you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That is amazing. You are very, like, you know, I heard you on the stage and I felt you, and I'm hearing you right now, and I'm really feeling you because there was a lot of people in that room. There was a lot of people hearing you and hearing the other women speaking, and they were moved by it. And I feel like in that moment and many moments after that, we've continued to take that energy of uniting and being together and working together, and again, letting go of that past mean girl look.
I think it's important, and hearing more people talk about it and realizing certain people aren't unreachable, and hearing people on stage or people who inspire you doesn't mean that it can't be your life too. And I think telling the stories and everything we talked about today is so important in making the life that you want, understanding it can happen. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love it here.
Check the time. 3:53. I think let me look over my notes one more time, but I feel like we really touched on everything that needed to be touched on.
Amazing. Yeah, I want to talk to you all day. I love it here.
I love it here too. I'm so excited to build outside of this because I feel like this is the connection. We needed to really just make some more magic happen and impact some more people because I'm on mission mode.
I want to hear, like, outside of this, I want to hear more of what you do. I know you said, like, with brand, like, but, like, I want to know, I genuinely, like, understand. I don't like to see people like, I do this. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I'm like, no, I need to know, like, what you do. Because with the community that I have, I want to be able to connect women with you.
Definitely.
Regardless if that's here in Detroit or the people we have all over the country. So I love finding out more about people, that what they're doing, and how I can help connect people to you to help them get the life that they want. Because, like, I don't do what you do, and I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I do brand strategy and all the thing. I don't. But I know a great person who can do that for you.
There's always a connection, and that's what's so great about a collaboration like this, so that we can know that.
I love it.